Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Their selection is the biggest selection of boats in East Tennessee. You can see more makes and models of boats, from deck boats to pontoon boats to fishing boats, to just general outdoors boats at Madisonville Marine than you can find anywhere else. So instead of wasting time going from one dealer to another saying, well, this group has pontoons, we got to go over here across town to check out this group with their deck boats. They got them all at Madisonville Marine. I'm telling you, most places don't do that. Highway 411 North is their showroom, and right down there in Madisonville. And madmarine.com is where you can learn more about them on the web. They've been a part of this show for 15 or so years. Great business. They've been down there for nearly 50. Madisonville Marine. Okay, we continue to mix history, summer, patriotism, football in this bizarre gumbo that we call a show. We're going to fast forward from July 4th, 1776 to July 3rd, 1863. All right, so that's Gettysburg. Let's put this up. The Gettysburg game, the University of Tennessee. And here's what I mean by that. A major victory, which Tennessee survived narrowly, a tough test from a visitor, perhaps even needing a break here or there, not unlike the Union at Gettysburg. So, our options, and I love the first one because I hadn't thought of this. Mike Strange threw out 1997. Peyton Manning had to fight like heck to get by Vanderbilt, 17-10. 1998, the overtime thriller where you survive at home against Florida. 1998, the incredible, flukish in some ways, the break you caught. You needed them. Every team, I'm not trying to knock the team, but every championship team needs them. That was a break that Cliff Sterner fell on the ball. Tried to keep himself up with the football. So Tennessee, Arkansas. And then, Josh, you threw out 2007. Tennessee had to hold off South Carolina at home in overtime to win the East. Where are we going? Which of those represents major victory, survived narrowly at home from a tough test from a visitor, maybe needed a break or two? I'm going Tennessee, Arkansas, and I don't think anything comes close. You guys make your calls.
That's what I had, and it wasn't just the Sterner fumble. It was the Billy Ratliff also having an impact on that play.
He made a great play.
Yeah, and it was a bootleg call on top of all that, and then you can remember everything that happened, and I can't imagine from this list anything topping that 1998 because Tennessee goes on and wins the national championship. Without that victory, without that turn of events, I don't think you do that.
All right, so Chuck and I say that Gettysburg is the Arkansas game where you needed some breaks, you held off a tough road competitor at home. Where are you going, Josh?
That no doubt occurred in the Arkansas game, and the 2007 idea was a great one. But I'm going to.
It's great. You're having to come up with something. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to go with Mike Strange. I'm going to go with 1997 because can you imagine Peyton Manning's time at Tennessee coming to a close with a loss against Vanderbilt? No Tennessee fan wants to consider that. Consider the win streak at the time and all that Peyton had done. Do they win the East? There would have been a three-way tie. Mike, you're shaking your head no. It would have been a three-way tie at 6-2, Florida and Georgia. So Georgia would have won, Mike says. So Peyton Manning leaves Tennessee without an SEC title. Do they go on and win a national championship the next season? I don't know that structure is there. So I'm going to go with 1997, holding off Vanderbilt. Peyton Manning could not go out losing to the Commodores.
Okay, and I will say there's another comparison to Gettysburg right there, in that when you're playing Arkansas was number 10 in the country. They were undefeated too. So that one wasn't so much a surprise. The Union wasn't expecting a fight at Gettysburg. It was kind of a surprise that came there. I think that it was a surprise that Vanderbilt gave Tennessee such a game. So that would lean toward the Gettysburg-Vanderbilt match there.
Does that mean you're leaning?
No. No, I still think that Arkansas game is the perfect example of a Gettysburg game in terms of how we're defining it. But the Vanderbilt thing, although I just made the argument that it was a surprise, Woodenhofer's defense gave Peyton Manning fits the year before. It was 14-7. So 2 years in a row, Peyton Manning and that high-flying Tennessee offense, they only won by a touchdown against Vanderbilt, which was lowly at that time in terms of record.
Yeah, so we all know that was Vanderbilt's bowl game back then, and we know Vanderbilt was going to give Tennessee a tough game. So, I mean, we wouldn't have had the image of Peyton Manning leading the band when he climbed on the ladder to lead the band. But I think it has to be Arkansas, just because of how that unfolded. And you did catch a break. You didn't really catch a break that much in the Vanderbilt game, did you? You know, to be able to pull it. See, that's the defining part of this that makes it obvious that it's
the
Arkansas.
Sterner fumble is no doubt the biggest break of all this. It's one of the biggest breaks you're going to find in college football.
Yeah, and I mean, for those people who were
including the
screaming,
impact,
for those people who were screaming, Miller Alec made that play. True, he made an incredible play, but it's not like he spun him and said, I'm going to spin him in such a way that he tries to keep himself up with the ball hand. That was the flukish
If
part.
Sterner does this, then he does.
Or if it just takes a knee, if he just goes,
If he just falls down and doesn't try and catch himself with the football and fumble, you need those breaks, but they got a break there. All right, so what we're saying then, that would make, and I think this is true, Houston Nutt sounds more like Robert E. Lee in my head than Woody Woodenhofer does. So
yes, exactly.
Okay, so Houston Nutt was Robert E. Lee in this sense. All right, so the Gettysburg game was Tennessee.
Yes.
I mean, was Tennessee versus Arkansas. All right, very good. I'm even losing myself on this nonsense. Maybe we should have done hot dogs versus hamburgers. When we come back, we're going to fast forward one day in American history. Another U.S. Army win. Well, how does it compare to Tennessee games of the past? We'll break it down. Vicksburg next.